Knocks down the three. Yes, sir. Mark Bing is going right at Simon Sandagon.
Out the basket and one.
The MPBL preseason returns to the shoe capital of the Philippines, and at the heart of Marikina is the Marikina Sports Center. Another triple header for today featuring one of the more pleasant surprises in Pat Buena for Quezon City. Kalaban niya another gunslinger for Bataan, Ives Sason. That's our first game, QC versus Bataan, followed by Sarangani battling Mindoro, and then Bacolod will square off against Jensen. Magandang hapon mga kaliga, Ken Pangilinan with Coach Christian Luanzon and Coach Chris.
Hey, Ken.
Hello. Ngayon lang tayo nagka-work ulit, Coach.
I know. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And syempre, batiin natin yung mga nanonood sa atin live on the official MPBL YouTube channel. And Coach Chris, all 6 teams from Group A playing today.
Right.
And when we look at the team standings, unahin muna natin saglit yung Group B with Caloocan winning over Quezon. Interesting things
Last
happening
night,
in that
yeah.
group.
Yeah. Yeah, and San Juan obviously still spotless, 6-0. You know, a reminder, especially for those who maybe the first time to tune in this year, it's 2026. This is only the preseason.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna get the top 3 teams. Pero yung number 1 team sa bawat bracket, outright semis na yun. And then si 2 and 3 maglalaban, magna-knockout. And then magko-crossover tayo, knockout phase. Ayan, nakita natin yung playoff bracket. Okay, and then pagdating sa dulo, champion na. Wala po tayong series, no? Hindi po tayo K-drama na soap opera. Knockout po tayo, parang kay Senator Manny.
Mga limited series lang tayo ngayong preseason.
Correct.
But, syempre, pinag-uusapan natin yung mga kupunan in Group A. Realistically, 5 of the 6 teams playing today have a shot of advancing to the next round. Unahin muna natin itong Quezon City. An upset win mainly because of this guy, Pat Buena, started shooting from the outside.
Right, I mean, I don't want to call it an upset, Ken, sorry, but
Okay.
because Quezon City is a team that from day one, I was convinced na palaban tong team na to. But to your point, yes, considering historically how Batangas na tinalo nila, no, at you saw the numbers by Pat Buena, just absolutely introducing himself in preseason mode, no? And I guess, you know, you just gotta credit itong Quezon City, also si Coach JV Olea. You could see his imprint, no? JV Olea, a former MPBL player himself.
Yeah.
I think played also for Quezon City,
Tama.
right? Yeah, played for Quezon City, and nakikita ko yung ano niya eh. He was known as a guard who hustles, you know, the nitty-gritty, doing all the little stuff, and Quezon City even being having talents of unknown, so to speak. They're making their mark here in the preseason, being the number 3 team so far, and yun nga tinalo yung Batangas in their last game.
And on the other side, Bataan finally barging into the win column, mainly because of the shooting as well nito ni Ives Sason, much needed in that game against Sarangani.
It's good to have him back, no? Because I thought they were. I covered their first game, I believe. You know, they gave up, I would say, their first 4 games, 0-4, and then they came up with a win in the last game. And Ives, seeing him suit up, that was a good sign for me. And you saw, you see the numbers, 15 points in the last game, and he's one of our MPBL vets who started in this league season 1 pa lang.
Tama.
Tama, di ba? If I'm not mistaken, for Marikina.
Sakto.
For Marikina, dito kung nasan tayo. Ngayon, nasa Bataan siya, pero maglalaro siya ngayon sa Marikina.
Where he,
Marikina Gym.
Tama. Very average. The most points.
20-point scorer to, hindi ako
Tama.
nagkakamali.
Saktong-sakto.
Di ba?
Very fitting as we begin festivities here. It's our first game between Quezon City and Bataan. Punta na natin si Richard Tampos for starters.
Also at guard number 27, MJ Hassan. forward number 22, Jovan Gloria. And at center number 11, Clark Enrique. The head coach is JB Olea. Assistant coaches, Iwis Rico Santos, Marco Asa, and Sino Ludes. Team coordinator, Chiqui Alcala. Team manager, Rico Estrada.
Starters first for Quezon City, MJ Hoson, Pat Buena, Clark Derigue, Joven Loria, and Jake Agoncillo. Para naman sa Bataan, Robbie Darang, Jeff Santos, Chris Xavier, Jamil Gabawan, and Ives Sazon. Our referees for this small game are Jay Francisco, Maynard Centeno, Jericho Cabezas, and fourth referee is Fernando Cabactulan Jr. Quezon City is 3-2, while Bataan 1-4. Each team 3 games remaining, including this one. Ives Sazon getting the first crack at it para dito sa Bataan. Gabawan gives it up to Chris Xavier. And turnover to open up their possession tong Bataan.
Oh, that was an interesting set to me because usually coaches would have their, having the first set or first play of the game, excuse me. So they have something prepared, but the matchup was Pat Bueno and Ives Sazon. And sometimes, hindi mo alam kung parang sa term ng mga players para mag-a-adlib ka, no? Kung gusto mong postehan, or you run the set itself that the coach prepared for para hindi ka mapagalitan. And that ended up as a turnover as Sazon was coming off the screen. Tingnan natin si Ives kasi mahilig din pumoste yan eh.
Yeah. This time he fires a free, no good.
Off a kick out. That was a nice kick out by Robbie Darang. An attack in semi-transition.
And what Quezon City did so well in that game against Batangas was really handling that yung press break nila, Coach Chris.
Right? And also, because looking at the box scores, almost traveled that there. Right there was Santos. I think the foul is going to be called in favor of Bataan. And to your point, I think they did an excellent job of limiting yung mga scorers. Guys like Wembel Comboy, only 6 points, 2 for 10. Yambing, who's had an impressive preseason, only 2 points, 0 for 3 in 12 minutes. Abdul Sawat, who's had his own share of player of the game honors, scored 10 but was only 3 of 11. And a big chunk of those stops came in the fourth quarter, which allowed them to propel that win to win by 1 point dahil na-limit nila itong Batangas to only 9 points in the fourth quarter. And we're talking about a retooled Batangas team nung last game who's been playing great. Wala pa silang, correct me if I'm wrong, wala pang talo Batangas
Coming into that game.
Coming into that game, right? That's why you got to give a lot of credit to this Quezon City team as Chris Javier hits the first free throw, because I was impressed already by the first game. Now, it's only preseason, yes, but they have this, as people would describe it, they have this dog in them.
Yeah.
It's a dog fight, pagkakalaban mo Quezon City. At least compared to the previous Quezon Cities the past few seasons.
Right.
And I'm so happy because I am from Quezon
Oo
City.
nga naman.
So calling Coach JV, homegrown po ako.
Pwede pa. Pwede pa to. Kahit mamimiss ko sa panel to.
Joke lang po yun. 43 na po ako. Huwag na po kayo magkamali. Eto na. Pinostehan si Pat Buena, pero si Jamil Gabawan yun.
Sason draws closer. And just to complete that story about QC beating Batangas, John Dermal, who has had a very impressive preseason.
Right.
Just
1
3
for
points.
12. 1 for 12. Yeah, forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Sason is now at the line. Averaged the lowest number of points last season. Staying with Bataan. And for Bataan naman, Coach Chris, it's yung season nila, no? It's been, even last season, medyo uneven. Yung consistency was in question. It didn't help, certainly, that Robbie Darang missed a big chunk. Mga 1.5 months siyang wala because of an injury.
Right.
And then they tried to integrate guys like Alfred Flores, who finished their stint in the collegiate ranks. But they were right there in the play-in, just couldn't get over the hump against Ilagan Isabela.
Meanwhile, banggit natin, pagposte ng Bataan kay Pat Buena. Guess what? Si Pat Buena pumoste sa kabila for the first 2 points of Quezon City. Ang matchup niya na si Robbie Darang, nakabawi naman kaagad itong Bataan. Sorry, Ken, you were saying.
Yeah, sa Bataan.
Right. Etong Bataan, it's not even a roller coaster. Okay? I felt they're an extreme team because in season 7, as you see, Jamil Gabawan, this nice move from the elbow, the right elbow, finishing with the left hand. There were games last season wherein you would be, wow, this is a playoff team.
Right.
And then there would be games when they would be so flat, you would try to convince yourself na ano ba nangyayari dito sa Bataan? It's not even close to becoming a playoff team. And you know, they start their preseason 0-4. They win their last game, obviously, against Sarangani. That's why I think coming into this game against a dog type of Quezon City team, this will be a test for them, although it's only preseason.
6-2, the Risers with a 4-point lead. Ken's Jokno can't hit a free. Gloria, the offensive rebound, and the ball will stay with the Black Boys.
And that's one thing that Bataan has to limit. No, I'm sure they did their share of, scouting into Quezon City, trying to limit the three-point shooting in itong Quezon City, specifically si Pat Buena, who made 5 of the 10 made three-pointers in the last game. Batangas only made 4, so that was the difference of the game for them to win by only a point.
Clark Derrigue, returning here to Quezon City, was actually teammates with Coach JV nung naglaro siya sa QC.
Let's not forget, he's also a 4-time NBA champion. Ito si Clark Derrigue. His nickname, by the way, is Horace Grant. So,
okay.
nakuha kita ron.
Oo nga, no? MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community.
Download it, get verified. Meron ka na ba?
Meron.
Dapat meron.
Pakita ko pa sa'yo mamaya eh.
Oo, bahala ka. Hindi mabibigay yung TF mo.
Derrigue getting the back end of those free throws.
Ito yung full court press. Oh. Nabanggit mo to kanina nung kalaban nila ang Batangas. Batangas also did that to them. Pero ito, Quezon City, a successful one. A steal in the backcourt. Easy too.
Against Jokno. And now they get a stop. Jokno gives it up to Buena. Fires for 3. No good. Jeff Santos corrals it for Bataan. 6-5. Very tight ball game early. The cut intended, that pass intended rather, to Chris Xavier goes out.
A good intention, just poor execution on the pass. And this was Flores. And right here, his first turnovers. First of 2 turnovers, so 2 straight turnovers na. Ito si Flores, no?
Jokno gives it up to Derrigue. They swing it to the other side. MJ Hoson. Derrigue pupungol sa dress. Can't get that one to fall. Rebound again by Jeff Santos.
Kita mo naman yung pasensya doon sa opensa ng Quezon City. Running that triangle offense from the right side. Swing to the left. And then nahanap nila, no? A guy who could shoot the ball from the outside. Ito si Clark Tirige. Hindi lamang pumasok.
Kabawan also missing on a free past the midway point of the first quarter. Jokno whips a pass to Loria. 8 on their shot block. Pat Buena being guarded by Alfred Flores. It will stay with the Black Bulls with only 4 on their shot block. Mitchell Minus and the returning Chito Jaime played his first couple of seasons here in his home province, ng Bataan.
Tama. Dahil ang kasabayan niya nun, naalala ko, now Commissioner Jai Reyes.
Yeah.
UAP Commissioner. Malakas yung koponan nila nun, naalala ko, yung Bataan.
Si Robbie Celis ba nandun din?
Yes.
Diba?
You're right. I think unang koponan din ni Robbie Celis
Tama.
yun sa MPBL.
Joshua Roque, also a former Marikina shoe master, hitting the jumper from the baseline. And just like that, QC now in the lead, 7-6. Also in for Bataan is Christian Balagasay, former Letran Knight.
Right. Who has shown that he can be a reliable big man, no? May mga post moves nito so far sa preseason, especially for the games that I saw him play.
Flores na iwanan, takes the three, short. Ball ends up with Hens Jokno. Poson bouncing it to Loria. Jokno, baseline jumper. And the tip in by Loria is good.
You just gotta love the flow of the offense by Quezon City. Their primary, wala. Getting into the short corner to flatten down the defense. They end up with a grenade action right here. Jokno capable of hitting that short corner. And usually when it's a miss, that's a weak side rebound. Loria, as you mentioned, cleans it up.
Quezon City edging Batangas, like we said last Saturday, 70-69. And you mentioned the volume of three-pointers made by the Black Bulls in this game.
Right, and this is despite of giving up, no, yung turnover points, tsaka points of turnovers. Nakita mo naman, 20 turnovers itong Quezon City. And usually, you give up that high of a number to the other team, it would, you know, it's an equivalent of a loss, pero they were able to squeeze that one in, and because of their three-point shooting, Pat Buena, leading scorer in that game. We showed it in the pregame, 19 points, 5 doon, galing sa three-point land.
And also the poise that they showed in the fourth quarter, where they entered that period down by 5 against Batangas City, but holding the Rum Masters to just 9 points.
Right. I think we gotta give credit also to Jake Agoncillo, no, number 8,
Yeah.
para sa Quezon City, who I believe has yet to see action. Tama ba?
Di pa.
Wala pa, di ba? Because he scored 7 of his 9 points in the final quarter, where points were hard to get by. Ang Quezon City nun, 15 points lamang ang na-score nila. So halos kalahati kay Agoncillo.
Flirted with a double-double that game, Jake Agoncillo.
You just saw Coach Ogie Gumatay, no, one of the assistants ng Bataan, former UP Fighting Maroon. Jeremy Mahinay. Love the hair, Jeremy.
Oo nga.
Batang-bata. Hindi ako magugulat kung ang side business na itong si Jeremy ay parlor. At di rin ako magugulat kung ako yung first customer niya. Parang tutol ka no?
Hindi naman.
Yung tawa mo, may laman
It's good to have you back, Coach Chris.
I can. A little two-man game, empty corner. Jeremy Mahinay. What a way to introduce yourself in this game. First touch, basket kagad.
probably their lone legitimate center on this roster apart from Jeff
Diyan ka
Murillo.
nagkakamali. Ayun, Jeff Murillo.
Ayun, sa
Kailangan mong banggitin si Boss Jeff.
Ayan, si Boss Jeff.
Oo.
Silang dalawa lang.
Palagi ko, ano yan eh. Sila ni Chito Jaime naglalaban kung sino ang mas mababang birth certificate doon sa last 2 digits.
Oo nga. 11-6. Under 3 minutes left in the first. Jokno.
Nice.
Roque swing pass. De La Cruz stops on a dime and banks it in.
And that's just poor help defense by Balagsay. He was on the help on the left elbow. No reason to stick to Jeremy Mahinay. But instead, they allow the drive. Nice jumper inside the paint.
Quezon City currently on a 10-0 run.
You're right. At ito yung ika-siyam at ika-sampu kita mo in De La Cruz. Tapos hindi pa nakita si Balagsay. He was the closest guy. And that's because hindi niya maiwan for some reason itong si Jeremy Mahinay.
Hubert Cani having himself a solid preseason, 13.5 points. And also 4 assists per game.
Well, I think he's just picking up where he left off. If you remember, maybe the last 10 games of last season, he was balling.
Yeah.
He had 15, 20, 25-point games. I'm not sure kung nag-30 siya, no? But coming off the bench for the most part and just being a spitfire offensively.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Probably one of the reasons why they re-signed him.
Right. Saka ano ganda nung kombinasyon nila ni Robbie Darang and Alfred Flores, to your point, towards the tail end of that season. Roque misfiring from the outside. Cani off that Jaime rebound. Going right at Jokno, whips a pass to Flores for free. It's good. And the two-guard lineup working well so far for Bataan, racking up 5 straight points.
Well, this one, De La Cruz really had no reason to help. He had no business there. Leaves his man in Flores wide open. His second attempt after the first miss, knocks that one down.
Bataan getting their first win of the preseason by defeating Sarangani on their home floor 95-80. And the bench points was really huge for Bataan, but more importantly, Coach Chris, the way they created separation after the halftime break.
That's true. Actually, even midway the second quarter, kung saan double-digit na yung kanilang kalamangan. It's one thing to get the lead or create the lead, another to sustain it, to your point. And I know, it's Sarangani. Sarangani hasn't been really good the past few seasons, but in preseason, you're trying to create winning habits, especially for a team coming into that game 0-4. You want that first win, not only to improve your standing, but really to have that, positive outlook as you approach Season 8. And what I like about that game is, are two things. Only 2 players played over 20 minutes. Robbie Darang was one of them. And then 4 players who came off the bench were the ones who scored in double figures. That's, Chris Javier, Yves Sazon, Hubert Cani, and etong si Maines, who combined for 55 of the 95 points of Bataan off the bench.
Cani missing on a free rebound, Jeremy Mahinay.
Nice outlet.
Roque one-on-one against Hubert Cani.
Good stop by Hubert.
Getting the strip and getting it off Roque, getting them back the possession. 70 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Game of mini spurt so far. Bataan, after falling down by 7, now down by 2. Jaime left open, no good. Got back his own miss. Nilabas muna kay Alfred Flores. Jaime, libre ulit para sa 3. Wala pa din. Bola na tapik ni Balagasa, sa loob. Dante Baguio, no good. Second serving is good. They finally break through. Talking about Bataan.
Baguio ayaw ng assist galing kay Balagsay. Gusto niya, meron siyang offensive rebound. And gets it on the second try.
Jokno, caught in too deep. And it results into another turnover against the Black Bulls.
That's a good recovery by Flores after failing to jump ball side. And his man, itong si Jokno, was able to cut in front of him but able to recover and eventually force the turnover.
13 all, 27.8 seconds left in quarter number 1.
I have a feeling, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, all of the production will curse me na magti-triple overtime itong first game.
Tignan natin. So far, tumble naman tayo. Yung FD natin, umiiling tuloy.
Wala silang magagawa kung gusto ng Diyos.
Balagasay hits an open three. And it's the Risers' turn to counter with 10 unanswered points to cap off quarter number 1.
Bibilang ko na sana ng Panda Express si Pat Boyena kung na-shoot niya yun. Yung half-court shot na yun.
But nonetheless, again, both teams coming out swinging. Bataan through the first punch. Pero sinagot agad nitong QC.
By the way, kaya ako nabanggit yun dahil doon tayo nag-park dito sa labas. Okay, at ito yung highlights natin. Yung offensive rebound. This was early in the first quarter by Santos. Ano, two-man game. Ito yung first 2 points nung kakapasok lamang ni Kuya Germs.
At kaya lamang, pero lamang pa rin ang Bataan against Quezon City. 16-13 at the end of quarter number 1. Hubert Cani and the rest of the Risers still ahead. We're actually reclaiming the lead to end the first quarter. Jeremy Mahina, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Flirted with a double-double. Averaging 7.8 points and 8.8 rebounds here in the preseason. Second quarter underway. Both teams uncorking 10-0 runs of their own in the first quarter. See the field goal shooting here. Chito Jaime, just inside the arc, nails the baseline jumper.
Well, that's a good sign, especially for both teams actually, because pinakita nga natin yung field goal shooting and both teams, shooting poorly at 31% and 29% respectively. Lamang lang ng kaunti itong Bataan. Pero umangat na after nitong jumper ni Chito Jaime. This is where he gets his money. Yan ang binabayaran mo dyan kay Chito Jaime. Aside from yung veteran leadership that he provides, a spot-up shooter itong si Chito Jaime.
Right now, Quezon City in a drought. Meanwhile, Bataan, 14 straight points. Dante Baguio laying it up and in. Ito na ang lamang ng Bataan, 2013.
Just a nice recovery by Flores after committing the first two turnovers nung kakapasok niya lamang. Ang ganda na nung pagsalo niya sa kanyang sarili at natutulungan niya yung kanyang kupunan. Kaya maganda ang kanilang kalamangan. The biggest lead so far in this game, and Bataan forces a turnover. Yan o, nulong.
Nahanap si Dante Baguio. Meanwhile, Quezon City scoreless in the last 4 minutes. Alfred Flores to Chito Jaime. He goes right at his defender. No good. Alex Ramos picks it up. And he'll head to the line for 2 shots.
And that's where most of the teams will have an advantage against Quezon City. Dalawa ang naka-box out doon, no? Sa harap at sa likod nitong si Ramos. But even after the miss by Chito Jaime, Ramos still gets the offensive rebound because of the lack of size nitong Quezon City. That's why I think para hindi mo na ilagay sa yung team mo sa alanganin every time you go up against QC, bugbugin mo talaga sa ilalim, whether on the offensive glass or hitting the post.
Extreme ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Sablay unang free throw ni Alex Ramos.
You also saw Coach Mactan, no? The very first coach to win the MPBL title with Batangas City.
They squad there. Val Acuña, Dennis Villamor. Sino pa ba yun? Nawala na sa memory bank.
Marami pa yun.
Dami pa yun. Adi Santos, I think, was part
I
of that
believe
team.
so. Yeah, I believe so.
MJ Hos.
Chodoro ba? Part ng team
Tama, Titi
Chodoro.
MJ Hoson hitting the first free throw, finally ending the scoring drought of Quezon City. And right now, it's Clark Derrigue playing at the 5 for the Black Bulls. So you've got a small lineup, even smaller, with Jeremy Mahinay going back to the bench. Kani being bothered by Daryl Karangian. Release pass, Gabawan. Thumping it to Alex Ramos, masyadong malakas. QC secures the defensive board. Karangian stepping back. Outside shot, no good. Alex Ramos grabs the defensive board. Flores. Skip pass to Hubert Cani. Gabawan. Umatake, no good. Numbers for QC. Poson. Salazar for 3. Still can't buy a bucket from the outside so far, the Black Bulls. Karangian, bank shot, wala pa din.
So after hitting the first basket to start the second quarter, no, care of Chito Jaime, both teams bumalik sa kanilang old ways ng first quarter kung saan nag-struggle sila of hitting a basket.
Kani coming off that pick. Tinahi yung depensa and merong foul na tinawag against Quezon City. Salazar picks up his first foul. Sazon will replace Hubert Cani. Baseline inbound for the Risers. Sazon. Salazar in front of him. Backdoor cut. Sazon with a layup. Wala pa din. Quezon City. Salazar.
Nice.
Short jumper will fall in.
Excellent breakdown move. Right there, I believe was Hoson. This is another steal by Quezon City. Here they come.
Hoson, shot fake. 3 for a 3. Bit flat on the shot, but Loria with another putback for Quezon City.
And this is what we meant earlier, that they just have this dog in them. Even though being down by 7, wherein Bataan is looking to break the game wide open, Quezon City forcing stops, turnovers, jumpers, that time an offensive rebound, clean up by Loria. Ay, kilala ko yan. Coach ko dati yan. Coach Toto.
Coach
Duhilio.
Soto. Tama. Mamaya, maglalaro sila sa Rangani.
Siyempre, kailangan banggitin din si Coach JK.
Master JK, John
Yes.
Calios. Galing ng anak niya. Sa juniors.
Ateneo, right?
Yeah, si Zane. 2019, very close game so far. Bataan clinging on to this 1-point lead. Robbie Darang. Harap niya si Lastra. Gives it up to Chris Javier. Ball deflected. Gabawan. The pass inside. Only 4 seconds on their shot clock. Gabawan to bail them out for free short. And a rebound by MJ Hoson. Karangian. Back to MJ. Hoson against Darang. Karangian working on Dante Pagyo.
Little Spain action right there. Opens up this three, no? Or
Nawala
potential three. Oh, medyo ang ganda ng shot fake niya eh. He was going for the dribble pull-up. Etong si Lastra.
Yeah.
But lost his footing kasi nagkaroon nga ng contact. But that's a nice play, no? Of a timeout. Bataan also were running something, but they ended up with a hurried shot by Gabawan.
Clark Berige. Back to Daryl Karangian. Karangian leaning in, but can't hit the jumper. Kakapasok lang Tutoy Ramirez, grabbing the rebound.
So this is a 6-0 run after a 20-13 lead. Nice high-low play. Sorry, missed though by Chris Javier. Nice pass by Jamil.
QC trying to regain the lead here on this possession. Nice pass to Derige.
There's a blind pig action of the triangle.
Karangian, balik kay Derige, popping out, takes
That's
the
a shot.
three.
Yeah.
Can't hit it though. Nandun na naman si Loria, just couldn't complete the putback. Fight for the rebound. And it's a jump ball. Possession arrow still pointing to Quezon City, so they retain possession with 12 on their shot clock.
Yung sistema ni Coach JV, no? He runs the triangle offense a lot. And the thing about the triangle, Ken, as Pat Buena checks in, especially when you get a good shot off, which Quezon City has been doing, it will open up the offensive rebounds, especially on the weak side, which we have been seeing time and time again this first half. Another offensive rebound.
To your point, si Loria pumukol sa tres. Ayaw lang pumasok.
Another offensive rebound, but this one ends up in a turnover.
Robbie Darang. Got blocked by Loria. Robin Loria doing it on both sides of the floor.
Good pass.
Derige is free for a free, and they finally knock down their first triple off the ball game.
They're just caught in a bind. Offensively and defensively, itong Bataan after that good run that they had early in this quarter. And this is a foul on Lastra off the ball. Kay Robbie Darang. And now Quezon City takes the lead after this transition three. Ginulo pa ni Santos dun sa gilid. Pero ang hirap guluhin, lalo na yung mga magagandang backspin na gano'n ni Horace Grant, ni Clark Derrigue.
They were 0 out of 12 before that make from downtown by Clark Derrigue.
It's just a matter of time, as the song would tell you, which I know you are. Just a matter of time.
Okay.
Huwag mo nang tayo na kantahin ko pa. Kantahin mo na lang sa isip mo.
Sabi mo magti-triple overtime eh. Pwede naman eh.
Ito, Clark Derrigue, nabitawan lang ang bola. What a play by Hoson.
Setting up Lastra for the basket.
No, because Hoson was the one who passed to Clark Derrigue. It was tipped. He was outside already. Came from out of bounds to inbounds with his 2 feet to keep the ball in play. And then they end up with a basket. That's worth another look.
Yeah,
Nakastop pa sila.
That's the type of player that MJ Hoson is for Quezon City.
Ganun yata lahat ng mga Hoson, matatalino. Pati si Enzo Hoson.
Right now, 11-0 run.
Yun, hindi matalinong pasa yun.
Pwede pa i-extend ng Quezon
Traveling.
City.
Hindi matalinong galaw yun.
Ayun lang.
Traveling yun.
Again, game of runs.
I wish we could see that again. That play wherein, who was that? Pat Bueno? Ito. Yan. Nawala ang bola. Hoson's out of bounds. He comes in, establishes 2 feet, gets an assist to Lastra?
Yeah, Lastra.
Yeah, that's Lastra. That's just excellence in terms of IQ. The presence of mind to get inbounds at the right moment. Javier with a sorry miss once again. That's a nice move though.
Pagkawan sa rebound between Jeff Santos and Charles de la Cruz. And it's a foul on Jeff Santos.
Look, and I know Bataan is missing their shots inside. We saw the high-low play earlier between Gabawan and Javier 3 plays ago. And then the last one, Javier on the left block with a turnaround. They should just keep doing that. Put pressure at the rim through their bigs or maybe their guards at the post. Because eventually, you would either make the baskets or get to the free throw line or run the fast break just like this one.
Off a block from Chris Javier, setting up that basket by Robbie Narang. Snaps that 11-0 run by Quezon City. Fast break points, pretty much dikit lang, no? Sa loob, Jopen Loria can't finish. Carl Bringas secures the rebound. He brings it down the floor. He gets contact. He absorbs contact rather, and he gets fouled by Pat Buena.
It's always a bonus for the team, especially for a guy like Carl Bringas, who you can pass to a little past half court, has the ability to put the ball down, to make a move. Tulad ng ginawa niya now. Earns himself at the stripe.
MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community.
Download, get verified.
Yes.
Don't be like my partner na ibang pangalan ang ginagamit.
Paano mo nasabi yun?
I'm just assuming. Bakit ba? Manghuhula ako eh. Ang tanong naman doon kung mabuti ba akong manghuhula o masama.
Bringas hitting back end of his free throws. JD De Rosario is coming in for Quezon City. Tabla na naman tayo, 24 all. 3:18 left in the second quarter.
Pat Buena, after top scoring in the last game, only 2 points so far in 4 attempts. Now let's see with 3 minutes remaining, as you mentioned, if he could get himself going, because this is the part of the season wherein, you get 3, 4, 5 games in, teams are scouting you already. First 2 games, sometimes a guy like Pat Buena will get his way. Hindi ka pa kilala. Ngayon, nagpakilala ka na, scouted ka na. The challenge is how you continue to score or be effective on the floor kahit na mas malaki na nilagay sa'yo or even at times maybe getting double teamed.
Swing pass, Jaime to Cani. Can't hit the three. Derrigue comes away with his 4th rebound. De La Cruz to Del Rosario up top. Buena, balik kay Del Rosario, hand off to Pat Buena. And fighting for position there, but got called with a foul was Robbie Narang. Both teams are in penalty. So Pat Buena will jump to the line for 2 shots.
Something that could get him going. Because it's been a while since nabanggit natin yung kanyang pangalan after scoring his first field goal back in the first quarter. Sometimes it makes a difference. You get yourself to the line, you see the ball go through the net, yung kumpiyansa mo tataas din. Dito mo si Pat Bueno. Johnny Abarientos ka-look-alike.
Na-discover lang daw to sa ano eh.
Yeah, we should call him the Flying Bee.
The Flying Bee, okay.
Pero
Maybe
parang,
that will...
Parang mali yun kasi si Flying A lumilipad talaga eh. Si Pat Bueno, spot-up shooter to eh. Di ba?
Si Richard Campos, magaling sa mga moniker yan eh.
No?
Yung game announcer natin eh.
Wag na si Richard.
Bakit ayaw mo?
Baka tawagin niya lang. Pat.
Sino?
Baka doon lang mag-end up yan eh. Parang big boy.
Buena, ganon.
Buena.
Ito, papakitaan tayo ng malayong tres.
Sabi ko sa'yo. Di ba? Nakita niya na kasi lumusot eh. Doon sa net. Di ba? Buena.
Ito si Carl Bringas, nakabawi naman para sa Bataan.
Another score inside the paint. That's something they should do more often. Whether off a fast break, tulad ng kay Robbie Darang. Pat Buena, back-to-back, wala.
Diretso yun, ha? Just short. Under 2 minutes left in the first half. Cani got cut off by Buena. And as Bringas drove to the basket, a foul picked up by JD Del Rosario.
Natignan natin kung parang nag-adjustment no, sa scouting report or in the second half nitong Quezon City because so far, lahat ng atake nitong si Carl Bringas, pakanan.
Kens Jokno coming in.
Reminds me of you, really.
Sino?
Itong si Carl Bringas. Kasi pag sumasabay ako sa'yo, kahit na kailangan natin kumaliwa, kumakanan ka pa rin sa intersection. Kaya lalo tayong tumatagal papunta doon sa destinasyon.
Akala ko.
Ayan, si Balacuña, nabanggit mo kanina.
Oo.
Our very first MPBL
MVP.
most valuable player.
Akala ko, i-reveal mo yung soundtrack natin nung magkahit tayo pa Nueva Ecija.
Ay, hindi, nagkasundo naman tayo ron. Yan din ang coach.
Tama.
No, ni Coach Tama, coach din naman si Coach si Balacuña. Ito si Coach Mactan.
Matinik
Nung nasa Batangas sila, no?
Matinik si GP at si Derek, ha, na saktong-sakto. JD Del Rosario could be one of the first guys or could be the first guy who, kung if ever maging bagay siya ng main roster ng Quezon City, could be the first guy who played in the junior MPBL D-League.
Right? It's Val, by the way. Sorry, I mispronounced it.
Ano masabi mo?
Val. Balacuña. Continue.
Yung kasama natin yun eh. Kung nanonood ka, Val. Si Val Alegre. Tama ba? Alegre. Ito si JD Del Rosario played in the junior MPBL 18 under division, and if he cracks the roster here, could be the first guy to do both.
Kumo Kobe Bryant. 18 ba ka mo?
No, 18.
Oh, wala naman yata tayong age limit or requirement, no?
Hindi, ano yun eh, 2 years ago, so mga 20 na yata yan ngayon.
Okay. My fault on that. I misheard you, pero ito, 122 remaining. Tap out, bola pa rin ng Risers.
Kaya maganda mood mo ngayon, nanalo yung favorite team mo kanina eh. No?
Panalo ba?
Oo.
Hindi ko na sila pinapansin eh.
Hindi na ba?
Walang depense eh. Tapos na ako sa honeymoon stage talking about the LA Lakers. Parang wala silang laro kanina. Meron ba? Kahapon yun.
Ngayon nga.
Sacramento?
Hindi, New Orleans.
Hindi counted yun.
Hindi counted yun.
Kahapon, hindi counted yun.
Hubert Cani at the line. 30-28. Gets the first free throw to drop.
And since you mentioned it already, you know what's really breaking my heart?
What?
Being a Duke JJ Redick fan. Okay. Yeah, I'm really torn. Kasi, but I don't think it's his fault. As you see the numbers of Hubert Cani versus Sarangani, he had 14 points. Again, off the bench, one of 14 players who scored in double figures in the last game. But I don't think it's JJ Redick's fault.
Okay, we'll talk more about that when we return. Quezon City up against Bataan, 30-29. We'll be right back. Commissioner Emerita, and in between is head of operations, Zaldi Relubin, head of security, Kuya Ruds.
Let me correct you on that. That is Zaldi Mahinay Reliubit. Okay, kita nyo naman yung Coach JK, nakita nyo? Nakita nyo naman yung same hairdo. Joke lang po yun.
Baseline inbound, Quezon City.
Alam niyo naman po yung insecurity ko pagdating sa buhok.
Sabi nga ni, pakulay ka daw eh.
Iba na yon. Below the belt na yun yung himaga ng hirit.
Ito, agawan sa bola, napunta kay MJ Hoson. 52 seconds left. Pulling up. Can't hit the jumper. May foul ulit. Penalty na, magkabilang upunan dito. So free throws coming up for Bataan. 9 out of 14 here in the first half so far. From the line.
Yeah, samantala ang Quezon City, 6 of 8. So both teams, while struggling to shoot the ball offensively, both teams shooting under 30%, Ken.
Yeah.
And getting to the line has been their solution. Their band-aid so far in this first half. Imagine kung wala yung mga free throws na yun, this would really be an ugly offensive ball game.
Bringas gives the lead back to Bataan, 31-30.
Who has given them a big lift.
48.1 seconds left in the second quarter. MJ Hoson against Alfred Flores. Joshua Roque. Agoncillo. 10 seconds left on their shot clock. Roque on the move, stepping back over Hubert Cani. And Chito Jaime corrals the miss. About a 2-second differential between shot and game clock.
That's a poor foul.
Yeah. Sending Alfred Flores back to the line.
Makita mo yung tiwalang pinapakita ng coaching staff no, kay Flores. Came off the bench in this game. Played the first 8 minutes, Ken. It felt for a while. I had to double check kung nilabas na siya after checking in midway noong first quarter. 11 minutes so far, pero my point is binalik siya kagad. Kasi iba yung pace na nilalaro no, ng Bataan pag nasa loob si Flores. And at times, pinagsasabay pa sila ni Robbie Darang.
Saka ni Hubert Cani ngayon. Really has a knack for scoring kasi Alfred Flores, 5 points. Hitting both free throws, 33-30. Time winding down here in the second quarter. MJ Hoson. Clark Derigue. Jaime with the pressure. Agoncillo. MJ Hoson on the game clock. Skip pass. Ken's Jokno pulling up. Off target. And that will conclude the first half. A very low-scoring affair as a result of the poor shooting of both teams. But Bataan just holding steady here, taking on this 3-point lead, 33-30. At a half, 3 points separating Bataan and Quezon City. The Risers are ahead. And pretty much Coach Chris, back and forth yung naging labanan. No? Game of runs. Quezon City, after trailing early, had a 10-0 run. Bataan countered with 14 unanswered points. But from then on, halos nagpalitan lang ng shifts and momentums here between these two squads.
Tama ka dyan, no? And you see the numbers, no? Both teams shooting under 30%. Kaya nabanggit natin kanina, free throws, especially for Bataan. Imagine where this game would be, no? Without the 18 free throws allowed by Quezon City. I'm sure that's an issue addressed by Coach JV, no, to his squad. Kasi kung hindi sila fumaul nung first half, baka lamang sila ng at least 10. You see the leading scorers, Pat Buena, after that struggle, the first 15 minutes, you know, into this game, scoring only 2 points, hitting the last 5 points in the last 5 minutes. Clark Derrigue had 4. Kaya mabababa lang yan dahil nga sa scoring ng dalawang kupunan na to. Another stat, no, that you didn't see was the offensive rebounding of, particularly of Quezon City. You know, 11 offensive rebounds, something we touched on and emphasized for a stretch in that first half. Specifically, itong si Loria, who had a couple offensive rebounds and stickbacks, kept them in the ball game. But really, I think both teams, the way this game has been going, Ken, it feels like the first team who goes on a 10-1 run, 12-3 run, break this game wide open, you feel like they're gonna win this game.
Robin Loria, total of 6 offensive rebounds for Quezon City. And that was something that they wanted to address here, especially how they were out-rebounded by Batangas City in their last game. But, well, Bataan, on the other hand, looking to go back-to-back. Medyo mabigat yung simula ng kanilang schedule. Faced off against teams like Abra, Batangas City. But they still have ground to make up for, and they still have that shot to make it to the next round. Napag-usapan natin kanina yung format. The top teams from each group will outright go to the semis, 2 and 3, which is something that realistically both teams could still get in their group. Si Joben Loria with 4 points, 9 rebounds in total for him. Mamaya po, magkalaban din ang Sarangani and Mindoro, and then Bacolod will go up against Jensan for our third game. Again, Quezon City coming into this game 3 and 2. All right, we'll sort things out first. We'll be right back after the short break. Ayos lang scoreboard natin. Simula ulit ng ating third quarter between Quezon City and Bataan. The Risers get first possession of the second half. Sason trapped in the corner. Turnover. Quezon has Jaime to beat Soares and scores for the first basket of the third.
What a beautiful finish by Quezon. Nakakuha ng buwelo, no? After that steal, they forced the turnover the other end. Chito Jaime, ganda ng bawi niya. So Chito Jaime opens up the second quarter with a basket. Opens up the third quarter with a basket also para sa unang opensiba nila.
And that was a three-pointer, extending the lead to 4, 36-32.
I think Richard Campos should name Chito Jaime the opener.
The opener. Ito si Loria almost got the rebound. That would have been his 10th. Quezon will reset their offense using that pick by Derrigue.
Good pass.
Clark for 3 off. Offensive rebound, another one from Quezon City, but they just could not convert.
Offensive rebound number 12 for the Bulls.
Gabawan intended to Flores. And Sason drills in the free from the left side.
That's just too easy of a basket for a guy like Ives Sazon. Almost like a practice shot. That bailout corner of the pass by Flores.
Dalawang tres. Pat Buena can't answer. Fight for the rebound, ends up with Ives Sason. Gabawan on the run. And he will earn himself 2 free throws after getting fouled.
The long shot resulted after the miss into a long rebound that led to Jamil Gabawan driving to the basket and getting fouled.
Jamil Gabawan from Balanga, Bataan at the line. One of the best big men passing out of that pinch post.
That's a good point. Yeah, Jamil Gabawan, no?
Oo, si Jamil, di ba? Ano ba yun? Inayos muna ba yung net? So, both free throws missed. 39-32.
Mabigat yung mga ganong misses, no? Especially pag dalawang namitis mo sa free throw because it's almost like committing a turnover instead of getting a layup.
Noben Loria steps into the jumper. And that's his 6th point of the ball game.
You just love players like Loria who I can't emphasize it enough. No, I know sometimes it's kumbaga gasgas na, but being a star in their role.
Yeah.
Loria, alam niya yung role niya sa team, getting to the offensive glass and able to hit open shots. Tulad ng huling ginawa niya, pero Jamil Gabawan bumawi sa kabila.
41-34. Pat Buena, JR Lastra, Joben Loria, Clark Derrigue, and MJ Hoson, the unit for Coach JV Alea. Lastra drives baseline.
Nice cut by Derrigue.
And Derrigue rewarded with 2 shots after picking up a foul against Bataan.
The thing about that two-man game, they've been icing the ball screen sa mga empty corner, ganun sitwasyon. Eventually forcing an emergency switch, no? Medyo binuksan ni Gabawan yung depensa, kaya naka-atake. No, ang isang Quezon City, I think it was Hoson or Pat Buena, but ang ganda rin ng cut ni Derrigue because nobody clogged the middle. And Derrigue gets himself to the stripe.
Sablay nga lang, unang free throw ni Clark Derrigue.
Ayun, si Kuya Jeff.
Oo. Pinasok na ba siya? Parang
Hindi pa. Oh, kaya, pero hindi tumatayo yan para ipasok. Tumatayo yan, no, kasi nga, usually ang role ni Kuya Jeff dyan, hindi lang manlalaro. Parang coach / manager din siya. So he is very much involved dito sa Quezon City.
Sason providing that screen. Chito Jaime can't hit the free. Quezon grabs another rebound.
Nice.
Clark Derrigue. Ayaw pumasok yung tres. Sason the rebound for Bataan. Fourth set for Bataan. Risers up by 4. Gabawan thought about it. Puts it on the deck. Kicks it back out to Alfred Flores. Trying to shake off MJ Hoson. Shot clock winding down. Jaime, another attempt at a 3. Still no go.
Medyo walang pinuntahan yung opensa na yun, no? And good job by Quezon City holding their ground. Nice cut and pass. Derrigue, kinaliwa pa.
Sakto yung pasa ni Loria. Setting up that basket by Clark Derrigue, who now has 7 points.
That's just a poor gamble, no? And yung pala gusto magpasab nitong si Hoson. After nung pito, senyas na tumingin kagad sa kabila. Forward pass, gitna. And Derrigue, nice move against the smaller Hoson, or Flores rather.
So Charles De La Cruz coming in.
Kasama si Hubert Cani ng Bataan.
Flores working on Charles De La Cruz. Javier also coming in for Chito Jaime. Ives Sason gets to his spot, puts it in.
Able to create his own shot. Ives Sason may not be the same player in terms of his first step, but that time still able to break down his defender and getting to a sweet spot inside the paint.
Derrigue, another nice pass from Joben Loria.
Derrigue, after that basket underneath, that easy 2, that time a jumper, and seems to be gaining confidence, but this guy will never lack confidence.
MoneyPay, the digital wallet built for the community.
Download, get verified.
Yeah. Tagoncillo, bubukol sa 3. Yes!
Both teams picking up the scoring, no, and their field goal shooting here in the third quarter.
Yeah, both teams shot below 30% in the first half. Flores recycling their offense.
They should hit Sazon on the post.
Wants it against Buena, met by Derrigue. Kick out pass to the corner. Cani, gugulong palabas yung kanyang tira. Chris Javier giving up the foul.
That has to be an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah,
there was no play on the ball. Chris Javier. That was clearly above the shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure why it's not even
Reviewed.
not being reviewed. Hindi na nga kailangan ng review nun eh.
Malagasay comes in. 4-point lead. Nakalusot si Charles De La Cruz. Hubert Cani attacking the defense and heading to the line for his 5th and 6th attempts.
Another blow by defensively. If you're the coaching staff of Bataan, can't be too happy with your on-ball defense, particularly in this quarter.
Hubert Cani. So far,
4 points.
yeah, 4 points.
0 for 5 so far. So lahat ng lahat ng puntos yan ang galing sa free throw line.
4 out of 5 from the line.
Former FEU standout.
Yeah.
Was he a juniors MVP?
Sa NU.
Okay.
Sa NU yun.
Yeah. Meron nung seniors, FEU na siya, di ba?
FEU siya. Ateneo muna.
Ateneo muna. Sila yung no? Sila ni Coco Pingoy.
Tama, sabay-sabay.
Yung medyo tinamaan nung 2 years na
2-year residency.
residency.
Tama. Si ano rin. Was Arvin Tolentino part of that group? Oo yata, no?
He was, pero I don't remember Arvin sitting out for 2 years after playing for Ateneo and then suiting up eventually for Coach Olsen in FEU. First field goal for Hubert Cani for a total of 7 points.
50-44. 6 ang lamang ng Bataan. Approaching the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Loria up top. Derrigue walang alinlangan off the heel on that 3-point attempt.
Fortunate was the defense right there. Parang pinabayaan si Derrique. Naka 2 straight baskets yan. Buti nagmintis siya pero turnover. Si Ives Sazon dito. Another foul in transition. Only the third team foul to stop the break. So that's a good foul.
Yeah. Sayang kasi libre na siya doon. Now we will throw back to the bench after scattering 5 points here in the third quarter. In comes Mitchell Minus.
Who's been relatively quiet in this game.
In the preseason. Medyo...
Except for the last game. Against Sarangani, he was able to get into double figures. Jokto. I love his jump shot.
I don't know if you remember him. He played for Makati back in season 4.
Did he?
Oo.
Okay.
Under Coach Viz.
Valencia.
Oo, Viz Valencia. Press ni Javier, wala. Rebound nakuha ni Balagasay. Yun yung time na pinapayagan pa yung SGL eh.
Okay. Well, one thing's for sure, hindi ko siya makakalimutan this season. Especially with a beautiful looking jumper. Hubert Cani, back-to-back, wala.
Got back his own miss. This time attacks.
Fastball yata yan.
Fouled and... mukhang sideline inbound to. Or baseline inbound. So Quezon City adding some size, putting in si Jeremy Mahinay alongside Aaron Baguno.
Now they are going to review this. And alam mo naman, sa MPBL, everything is reviewable. Parang examination lang yan.
Okay. 3 and 5 left. Na-review nila kung act of shooting.
Or hindi. So ito, act of shooting ay tatawag. Natapik kasi yung kamay, kaya tinawagan ng foul. And then the ball, because Robbie Darang was open in the right corner, incidentally after the foul went to him. So our referees thought it was a pass ball.
Yeah. Nonetheless, Hubert Cani, only 1 miss from the line.
What I like about that review, as you see, Coach Mactan and Coach Ogie Gumatay. What I like about that review was it only took seconds, maybe 15 at the most. Hindi na tayo nag-gap.
Tama ba? Si Coach Ogie ba naging MVP sa UAP?
I don't think so. Nice pass.
Or champion? Champion?
I don't think so.
Di rin. Chris Javier on the run, laying it up and in.
Pero nagkakamali kasabayan ni Coach Paulo Mendoza yan, former UP stand-up.
Naalala ko yan si Coach Ogin. Tama ba? Sa Chowking naglaro sa PBL.
Okay.
Naalala mo ba?
Oo naman, naglaro ko sa PBL.
Kaya nga eh.
Yes.
Kaya nga ito tinatanong eh.
Yes. Jeremy Mahina, he misses the jumper.
Hubert Cani against Charles De La Cruz.
Pero yung Chowking, the PBL team, hindi ko na inabot.
53-47. Sa mga nanonood sa ating mga Gen Z, mga yun na inabutan yun.
Yun na yung, ito na yung parang PBL. No? Itong MPBL, although the difference is after the pandemic, ang MPBL naging pro league. Ang PBL at that time was semi-pro or amateur.
We have a challenge by Coach JV. We'll be right back for the result of this one.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge from Coach JV Alea. It was off Chris Javier clearly on that replay. So, bola na ulit ng Quezon City. 2:20 left in the third. Jeremy Mahinay, hanap ng papasahan, gives it out to Agoncillo. Guarded by Mitchell Minus. Release pass, Mahinay attacks, got stripped. And off his leg, bola babalik sa Bataan.
So that's 2 straight plays, no? Kung saan ang bola bumagsak kay Mahina. First was a missed jumper. This time, I thought he had a chance, no? As the defense rotated to him. A 3-on-2 on the weak side. Maybe a skip pass would really help them to get a better look at the basket. That ended up in a turnover.
LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Double team on the post. Good swing, extra pass. Good
mawala.
recovery. Oo, hindi catch and shoot situation si Maynes.
Kaya lang, mauubusan sila ng shot clock dito. Unable to release a shot.
It's one thing to create an advantage, Ken, which they did off the post. Nakita natin yung double team kay Chris Xavier. Another to exploit it. And that comes in with your execution. That extra pass by Hubert Cani dahil hindi nasalo sa pocket ni Maynes. Ended up in a turnover eventually.
Baguno, ayaw pumasok yung tira sa tres. Darang puts on the Jets, drops it off to Chris Xavier. Malagasay against Jeremy Mahinay.
Naramdaman natin yung banggaan doon.
Oo.
Parang i-Honda tsaka Zanjif yung nagbanggaan.
Rebound, Baguno.
I-google nyo na lang kung sino yung mga yun.
Tawag namin ni Coach Mark Dandan dyan, El Aparador matchup. Pero i-google nyo na nga lang si Zangief saka si E-Honda. Ano ko yan least favorite game ko yan dati.
Really? Yun talaga, inaabot ka na madaling araw?
Least favorite ko kahit nandun ako. Di ba? Yung Street Fighter.
Oh, Ken.
Oh.
Yes. Gets ko. Pero bakit ang favorite move mo? Yung mabilis na sipa ni Chun-Li. Pinagtatawa na naman tayo nila direct sa OB ban. Pagkatapos tayong sipain doon.
Kaya nga
Para isarili nila yung aircon nila.
Papalamig tayo dun. Mga ilang minuto lang.
Oh, yan. Tingnan mo, kami dito, sakto. Ang galing ng timing nyo. Di ba? Yan ang nangyayari sa amin. Pero dito sa amin, di ba, yung floor director namin dito, kung sino man siya, hindi kami pinapaypayan.
Ayan, tumusa na.
Yan. Eto, offensive rebound na naman. Oh. This time off a free throw. Jeremy Mahinay, susubok muli.
Si Chris Xavier naman, susubukan niya ngayon.
Oh, parang Leia Aga ba to na sana maulit muli? Mukhang hindi. Ay, plastic ka. Plastic ka po.
Sa camera lang po ito ganito. Ha? Okay, may timeout po tayo. 36.1 seconds left. We'll be right back after the short break. Alright, we're back here at the Marikina Sports Center. Muli po Ken Pangalinan kasama si Coach Christian Luanzon. At ang lamang ng Bataan nananatili sa 5 puntos.
Uy, kulang yung sinabi mo. Sabihin mo yung natin, Instagram name natin.
Ang hirap naman.
Ito, inbound play. Jokno, libreng-libre.
Wala.
Another offensive rebound. A power rebound, if I may add. Sobrang power, napasigaw yung mga fans dito. Oh, that was the biggest bad boy rebound sa larong ito. Talagang nangibabaw.
Si
Para
Aaron
kunin
Baguno.
yun, oo.
32.1 seconds left. May foul. Okay. Ay, hindi. Warning lang pala for delaying the game. It was called on Jeremy Mahinay. And ito yung sinasabi mong rebound.
Ito mo, nang ibabaw. Tapos, ang ganda nung angat, buong-buo. Hindi katulad ng floor director natin dito, hilaw yung pagpaypay.
Kaya nga eh. Kami sa'yo eh. Sa camera lang meron eh. Pagod na daw. Unawain daw natin.
Last possession na
First
ba
game
to?
pa lang tayo ha.
Oo. 7-second differential. Shot clock and game block, dalawa na. Ang nakabatay kay Robbie, pero nakitaan ng foul. Si
Penalty
Kuya
na.
Germs.
Oo.
Kuya Germs, no? 4:30 pa lang. Pero, ayun.
Naku.
Kung yung pumanaw na si Kuya Germs ay walang tulugan, eto. Technical foul ang itatawag.
Ayan. Free throws coming up
Sportsman-like behavior.
for Bataan. After Jeremy Mahinay picked up a foul and a technical foul.
Ang mabigat kasi ron, no? Sinundutan niya pa ng isa eh. Pinagbigyan na siya doon sa unang sinabi niya. His first reaction after the foul.
Yeah.
And then nagkaroon ng konting, in-express pa niya with his hand.
Ooh. Wait.
Let's not forget, let's allow people to remember. And Jeremy should remember this also. He is still under the microscope. Kakalift lang ng kanyang ban, indefinite ban, after, seasons ago,
Yeah.
committing that horrible, unsportsmanlike foul in Binyan. I forgot against who.
Pasay.
Pasay, I forgot against specifically
Pasay
who.
Zamboanga yun.
Yeah. But, so, syempre, maiksi na, no? Yung leeway na ipapakita sa kanya. And I understand his frustration, pero he has to understand also his situation wherein mas binabantayan siya at least kumpara sa iba.
Yeah.
To put it that way.
And it's really unfortunate because he's been playing so well here in the preseason.
He's being behaved. Diba?
Up
And
until that point.
mabigat, dalawang magkasunod na technical. It's costly to the team. Especially, not only because it's gonna be free throws plus ball possession, mababawasan pa yung rotation nila. So baka mapilitan si Coach JV ipasok si Boss Kuya / Jeff Murillo. Boss Kuya Coach Jeff Murillo.
Pwede. Nakatayo na nga eh.
Oo eh.
Well, kanina pa naman siya nakatayo pero Dara making Quezon City pay with these free throws.
Dalawa yon.
Dalawa yon, technical. And then, because penalty na, it wasn't an unsportsmanlike foul, so that's gonna be 2 shots. Not Indian plus ball possession.
And hindi lang to sa liga natin. If you remember the incident weeks ago in the NBA, right? There was a fight, a scuffle. Detroit, Charlotte,
Yeah.
diba? And then, if you notice the suspensions that were given, mabigat yung kay Beefs too.
Okay,
Because of,
Stewart.
because of the history.
Yeah.
Because of the history. So, pag part na kasi ng history mo, you have to understand as a basketball player, the more you have to be careful. Kasi kumbaga sa eskwela, nasa listahan ka na eh. Nasa watch list ka na.
And certainly for Quezon City, not the way you want to close out the quarter. And Bataan just extending their lead. And well, they had some moments talking about Quezon City, but Bataan with Ives Sason heating up, getting into a groove, really created some separation para dito sa Bataan Risers.
Both teams really getting into the 20-point mark. We mentioned their struggle offensively no first half. A different story in the third quarter. Robbie Darang with a nice pass here to Chris Javier. Both teams combined for 45 points in the third quarter. Kaya gumanda na ang scoring natin. Bataan up 8.
Simula na po ng ating fourth quarter between Quezon City and Bataan. Fiercely fought matchup here as you see the quarter scoring where it all picked up here in the third quarter, Coach Chris.
Tama, no? Nabanggit natin yan bago tayo nag-start ng fourth quarter. At ito, ang ganda ng unang play nila, no? In-involve nila si Pat Buena as you saw the quarter scoring. Yeah, because I was about to say, Pat Buena, after catching fire the last 5 minutes of that second quarter, hitting 5 straight points, only one attempt no third quarter, Ken. So 7 points pa rin siya. You know, and they start the fourth quarter, Pat Buena at the free throw line. He's a guy that they need to get going. But he's the type of guy na, as you see, Kyle Tolentino, bad timing. That's called bad timing. You know, maybe not having, has yet to have his afternoon nap. But Pat Buena hits the first 2 free throws. Yeah, he's the type of guy you have to set up. He's not the type of guy who's going to score wherein he's going to make things happen. No, kaya mag-create na sarili niyang tira. It's got to come off sets, you know, giving him screens off the ball. Or maybe in transition, those transition threes.
Now Sason wants to back down to si Pat Buena.
He can just shoot over him tulad nun.
Rebound, Agoncillo. He's with MJ Hoson, Joben Loria, Aaron Baguno, and Pat Buena.
They run the triangle once again, and somebody's open, and that's
Baguno.
yeah.
Bilang pumasok yung kanyang jumper.
That was a good look.
Robbie Darang, Ives Sazon, Dante Pagyo, Carl Bringas, and Chris Xavier naman para sa Bataan. Protecting this 7-point lead. Pagyo rising up for free. It's good!
That was an excellent, timely pass by Robbie Darang off that horn set. Yeah, weak side tag by the big man dun sa roller. Nandaya, yun nasa strong side corner for a bit. Sakto-sakto yung pagpasa ni Robbie. By the time that his defender was recovering, nakatira na maayos si Pagyo. Babawi ba? Oo.
Also not really a shot, but makes it anyway. Hoson with 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Nice attack by Robbie. Good kick out.
Pagyo, same spot. Almost, but he got fouled.
That is, I want to see that again. I was impressed with a closeout that eto, yung 3 points ni Hoson, walang lumapit sa kanya, pinatira. Yan yung scouting report nila eh. Sabi mo nga, no? An unlikely 3-point make. Pero nakita mo yung taas ng talon
Oo.
ni Hoson doon. As you see, Adi Santos, nabanggit mo nga kanina, part of that Batangas squad who won the first MPBL title with Coach Mactan, now with the Bataan Risers.
Sa ano siya? Jensen na.
Hindi.
Si Coach Mac.
Si Coach Mac, ayan.
Sorry,
Sakto,
si
ayan, no?
Tama
Sakto.
nga.
Come on, Ken.
Si Andy Santos yan sabi ko.
Yun, tumingin ka kasi sa TV natin. Yan.
Sige. Direct. Pagpasensyahan nyo na ako.
Grabe, I was about to say, grabe na exposure ni Coach Mac, ha?
Kaya nga eh.
Naiingit na ako, ha?
Mamaya baka kailangan pa namin kumatok sa OB1 ha, para papasukin nyo kami dyan ha. Nasaan na yung paypay namin?
Pero don't look now, Ken.
Lumalaki na. Ilabang.
Oo, isang puntos na lang. 10 na to.
63-54.
I think this is the biggest lead of the game. Siyam. Or no, 10 nga pala, no? Lumamang ang Bataan.
You have a foul on Dante Pagyo.
Right.
So this is gonna be the challenge of Quezon City. If you just tuned in, Jeremy Mahina unfortunately got ejected after picking up 2 consecutive technical fouls at the tail end of the third quarter.
Eto na si Pat Buena. Off that pin down on the weak side. Nag-decide sumundot. Eto si Ives Sazon, pinagbayaran niya.
Cutting this lead down to 6 after hitting that 3. Extreme ang sumok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Sazon sumalaksak sa baseline. Gets it back after missing that initial shot. And Ives Sazon having himself a strong second half.
Pat Buena ulit, back to back.
Halfway down and out.
Nice rebound by Agoncillo. Mintis lamang in reverse. They have an advantage kung gusto nila. Itong Bataan.
Bataan on the run.
There
Dante
you go.
Baguio will just lay it up and in. Lead back up to 10, 67-57.
That was a 4-point swing, Ken, because what was supposed to be 2 points after the offensive rebound, dahil sa mintis na yun, naging layup sa kabila.
Quezon going right at Flores. He scores on the interior.
Telling yung kanyang defender, no, to get more weight work in. Talagang pinuli niya yung depensa doon.
Chito Jaime, swing pass. Dante Baguio, balik kay Chito. Flores, anim sa kanilang shot clock. Sason. Malakas yung tira galing sa labas.
I thought he had an extra pass to Baguio who just hit a 3 couple plays ago. Hoson, back-to-back ba to?
No. And Baguio secures the defensive rebound. 8-point lead for the Bataan Risers. Flores trapped. Release pass to Gabawan. Goes up strong, can't finish. Hoson with his 10th rebound. Buena open for free. Lista mo na! And staring down the bench of Bataan after making that triple.
Yeah, how about the fact that the conscious effort of Quezon City coming into this quarter, as you see Bataan trying to give up the foul in transition. No success there. Pat Buena, as we mentioned, gotta get him involved. First 6 points of the first 4 minutes kay Pat Buena.
And we have a timeout. Bataan's lead cut down to 5. Happy International Women's Month ngayong buwan ng Marso. And batiin ko lang din, misis ko, ng Happy Women's Month.
Ayan, di na ako magtatampo. Sige na, Direk. Maraming salamat po. Hi, Dad.
Ngayon lang ulit yan, ha? Siyempre, uminit in action dito sa loob ng Marikina Sports Center with how these two teams have battled it out.
Right? So much that it forced Bataan to call an early timeout, or a timeout rather, and then Quezon City with a 2-2-1 trap. Ito na ang Bataan with their half-court set.
Kani working on Hoson.
That's a push on Derige.
Yeah, huling-huli.
Yeah.
Extending that arm on that rebounding battle. Jeff Santos coming in, replacing Dante Baguio. Pat Buena, 7 points coming here in the fourth for a total of 14 points. Backdoor, Flores, Jaime to Hubert Cani. Cani, tough shot. Runner won't go. And another foul called against Quezon City.
Well, that was a nice offensive rebound by Chito Jaime. He was the one who made the extra pass. Kay Hubert Cani, who made a counter drive to the other side. And instead of ball watching, crashed the board, and they will have the extra possession here.
Jaime backs the closeout.
Good pass.
Whips it out to Alfred Flores in rhythm for 3. Can't get it to fall. Jokno pulling up.
That's a foul.
And he will earn himself 2 shots at the line.
Well, just unable to control his momentum. Jokno, excuse me, a little snake dribble in transition, and caught underneath him was Flores.
like we said, played with Makati back in Season 4. Average little over 11 points per contest. Played for University of Makati. Mintis nga lang kanyang unang free throw. It's JV Alea trying to pilot Quezon City to their third straight win. Lead down to 4. Robbie Darang being pressured here. Hoson meeting him. Gana pa rin ang papasahan. Gapawan, bounce pass to Kani on the run. Puts it in, plus a foul.
You touched on this earlier, no? Of being a good passer as a big man, Jamil Gabawan. Look at this one. Right here. Ganda ng timing niya, no? Na-realize niya, cut. Ito, familiarity na lang yan. Chemistry na tinatawag. Hubert Cani, the English of the glass. He loves fourth quarters, no? Ito si Hubert Cani.
He does. 12 points. Sorry, 10 points. Make that 11 after hitting the free throw. Joe Meloria comes back in. So again, without Jeremy Mahinay, they've been forced to play small tong Quezon City. Hoson on the left side. Doesn't use the screen. Instead, he goes to Ken's Jokno, rising up for the jumper. Too strong. Battle for the rebound, ending up with Hubert Cani.
So soft balance, no? Dun sa jumper na to. Yun, si Jokno usually makes yung mga short corners, pero pagdating dun sa mga elbows, something he has to continue to work on. Robbie Darang to Chito Jaime. This would be big.
Short Hoson with his 12th rebound of the game. Leads to this layup in transition for Pat Buena, who now has 16 points.
He has deceptive athleticism. Etong si Pat Buena. The burst of speed nung nakuha niya yung bola, that one dribble and one step layup. Sa gitna pa tinapos. Ito turnover pa na-force nila.
Can cut it to
Titira
three,
to.
or make it 2. Buena's free though. No go. Jokno, siyang susubok sa 3. Offline.
Two good looks, Ken.
Yeah.
By Quezon City. Yun lang. Kapos.
Still a lot of time though. Under 4 minutes left. 5-point lead. Darang sizing up Ken's Jokno. Jaime swings it. Hubert Cani pubukol sa 3 and he connects. Big time shot from Hubert Cani, who now has a total of 14 points.
Beautiful three-man action right here. The drive to the middle, little reverse pivot, kick out, extra pass. Hubert Cani really proving why he loves the fourth.
Extending this lead to 8, 73-65 timeout Quezon City. Pat Buena coming alive here in the fourth quarter and just shooting well again from the outside, trying to help Quezon City come back from this deficit.
Especially his three-pointers. Ito, yung sabi ko sa'yo, huling basket niya, no? I thought he was gonna go for a stop and pop as the defense was trying to go down, but he made an excellent decision right there. Pushing that ball in front with using one dribble and finishing at the rim. But a challenge right now by Quezon City that they're facing. A deficit of 8. They have the ball. How they score quickly to save them some time. Let's see what Coach JV has up his sleeve.
MJ Hoson, 9 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. All-around brilliance once again from MJ Hoson. Baguno forced to take a free. Straight but long.
That's a foul by Hubert.
Kani out of position. Picks up a foul. Papasok si Clark Derigue for Quezon City.
Well, Coach JV was not pleased with the shot that Baguno took. As they were going for a dribble handoff, ito kay Buena. Doing an excellent job was Hubert Canny defending.
What a pass. Can't finish. Concilio able to clean it up.
Just a mental lapse defensively. Caught the defense napping on that weak side pass off the inbound. That's a turnover that they force. So, Coach Mac, right now, mukhang babalasa. No? Papasok niya si Flores.
So Flores will replace Jeff Santos. So they're going with a free guard lineup here. Hubert Cali, Robbie Darang, and Alfred Flores all on the same floor as, of course, MoneyPay, the digital wallet built for the community. Oson. Nakalagpas kay Chito Jaime to lay it up and in. He now has a double-double.
But they've been doing a good job, no, of attacking that drop coverage. Eventually, an emergency switch by Bataan, and Hoson just breaking down the slower Chito Jaime for that layup.
Lead down to 4. Gani working on Pat Buena. Layup doesn't go. Hoson.
Another rebound.
13 rebounds for MJ Hoson.
Nice.
What a pass! Setting up John Meloria for the layup. We are down to our last 2 minutes. Flores can't finish. Chance to tie or take the lead for Quezon City. Derigue, binitpit, malakas, but look who's there for the putback. Joe Meloria, basket and one.
This will force Bataan to call a timeout, but this is a 5-point swing. What was supposed to be a layup by Flores led to this one right here, and Loria has just done an outstanding job of being at the right place at the right time with these offensive rebounds and stickbacks. It's even too many to count at this point.
Joe Meloria also with a double-double. 10 points and 14 rebounds.
Sobrang dami nun, ah. Si Hoson, 13. Sa kanya, 14. 27 sa dalawang tao. That will be white ball.
Yeah, they will review it.
That's gonna be white ball. It looked like.
Last 2 minutes tayo, pwedeng i-review.
Oh.
So far, we've had 2 overtime games, tama ba, in the preseason? Both covered by our very own, si Delf Tupas. Ngayon, tabla tayo, 73 all.
Kaya nga 3 yung sinabi ko kanina eh. Kasi alam ko nakakadalawa na tayo. Ito, hindi lang pangatlo, magiging 3 overtime. Di ba? 33.
May oras pa naman dito sa 1 and 42. Siyempre, naghihintay. Ito sila.
Uy, si Asyon.
Yeah.
Former UP Fighting Maroon.
Playing well for Mindoro. Had a strong series against Quezon in that first round.
He did. And one of the more athletic guards we have in this league.
Quezon City a chance to take the lead. An 8-0 run by the Black Bulls.
They love this play. A little Iverson action. Pero tatawagan ng foul. That's a nice call by Coach JV. I remember that play. They ran for Pat Buena when they played in Bilyan, which he was able to score. He just switches the position. Nilagay niya ngayon si Hoson to attack the defender because he's been having his way, having a complete all-around game, and earns his way to the stripe.
2 of 2 at the line. So far, 11 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Make that 12 points after that made free throw. Coming from Manila Central University, transferring to Gardner College.
Look at those numbers. This is not MPBL 2K26. But this is live play. Those numbers are game-like, 2K-like.
Hitting those critical free throws as well. Bataan will use one of their remaining timeout. They're down by 2 points, 75-73. And we'll be right back after the short break.
Batian portion muna tayo.
Sige.
Oh, happy birthday, sa aking kaibigan, si Edwin Lianes, na nanonood ngayon. From Ilocos.
Ilocos.
Ilocos. So, nanonood din si Odaina Felipe of Manabo Abra. Ito mo, Ilocos, Abra.
Oh, naimbag amalem sa inyong lahat dyan. 75-73, Bataan giving up that 10-0 run. Tarang just missing on that shot. MJ Hoson
Oh my
flies
goodness!
and scores! Plus a
Oh
foul!
my gosh, somebody call R. Kelly and make him sing right now because Mr. Hoson just did an I believe I can fly moment. Look at this finish. Hindi ba nga kita yung kanyang ala Skywalker? Ito mas magandang tignan mo. Kita mo naman yun. And what a time to come for the best highlight of the best player so far in this game.
16 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Scoring the last 5 points for Quezon City. Javier's free. It's
That's
good.
big.
Big shot.
Ano yung paboritong sabihin ng mga Pilipino, Ken? Pamatay, sunog.
Oh.
A much-needed 3 by Chris Javier.
Stops, or rather halts that big run by Quezon City. Derrigue, muntik nang mawala sa kanyang bola. Hoson.
Would have been a nice pass. Medyo too much sauce lang.
Yeah.
If that was probably a bounce pass, baka nakuha ni Derrigue yun. But a nice stop nonetheless for Bataan.
40 seconds remaining.
Chance to tie or take the lead.
Both teams in penalty. Gabawan gets it to Hubert Cani, working with Chris Javier. Sizing up Clark Derrigue. Javier, another three-pointer. Back-to-back threes by Chris Javier.
I thought it was the perfect moment to point to his elbows and showing why he has ice in his veins. What an answer. Back-to-back 3. He has the most beautiful name, by the way, Chris Javier.
6 of his 10 points coming here in the fourth quarter. And Quezon City calling for time. Let's listen in.
Okay. MJ, baba mo lang ng bola. Kay Jake, habang binababa yung bola, pumunta ka na dito, Jake. Kakaintindihan, sagad mo dito. Pati, go corner. Aaron, Joben, saka Clark. Okay, nakapwesto tayo para dito, okay? habang ubusin mo lang muna, mga 15, saka mo gumalaw. Basta andito ka na, Jake. Okay, Jake, ghost lang to, ha? Okay, bitawan mo na yung bola dito, MJ. Atake. Joben, screen dito, ha? Atake. Clark, clear out. Atakehin mo to, Jake. Ang magiging pasa mo kay MJ. Kay MJ tsaka kay Pat. Pag walang nangyari, sundan mo to, MJ. Hit. Pagkapasa mo sa back pass, alis. Atake ulit. Improve position na Pat. Nagkakaintindihan. Hindi na babalik yung bola sa atin. Sa kanila. Atin na yung last possession.
Meet the ball, Meet natin yan, Let's go.
I can't really tell kung ano yung tinakbo nila. One thing I could say though was how clear that instructions were because you know, kanya-kanyang team may mga terminologies, may mga lengguwahe sila eh. You heard back cuts, you heard improved position, mga ganun things. Without any visual, let's see, makikita natin kung paano itatakbo lahat ng sinabi. But I thought it was crystal clear of how he delivered that during the timeout for the young coach of Quezon City, the coach JV Olea.
They opt to inbound it on the backcourt. So
Para sa kanilang last possession.
yeah. Agoncillo pull up is good! My goodness! What a shot by Jake Agoncillo.
We mentioned in the pregame how big he was in the last game, scoring 7 of his 9 points in the fourth quarter. This is only his 4th point in this quarter. The most important one could be that one. What a beautiful reverse between the leg move and a jumper. 7 seconds remaining. Quezon City up 1.
Ito, para lumabas, Jeff, dito ka.
Asa na ako, chato na.
Okay lang. Tuloy lang natin yan. Nabas, nakasuot na, bigyan natin, di ba? Okay, nabas. Pag meron, bigyan natin, pag nakasuot. Pag hindi, parang tuloy natin. Diretso, Jamil, ha? Pag hindi nakasuot. Pag nakasuot, lumabas, bigyan natin. Pero pag nakatao, hindi, nabas. Tama, hintay natin, Chris. Tama, diretso, Chris, ha? Pag wala, Robby, sa'yo, atake na. Masisingin ako.
7.1 seconds left. Jake Agoncillo, 9 and 10 against Batangas. Struggled a little bit here in this game, but 9.7 rebounds, including that go-ahead jumper earlier. Bataan, a chance to win it. Darang. Pass broken up. 1.8 seconds left. And Darang also,
It doesn't look good
yeah.
because I didn't see him twist his ankle. He's holding on to the back part of his Achilles. Right here, let's see it again, right there. It doesn't really, right
yeah.
there, he twisted it. It's a good thing
Yeah.
na mali ako
Oo.
because obviously a twisted ankle, getting back to my point, is much better than
What you were thinking of.
Yeah, what I was thinking of, you know, tearing up your Achilles. But nonetheless, a turnover and 1.8 seconds remaining na lamang tayo.
And no more timeouts for Bataan. And what a stop by Quezon City on that possession. So Lastra could put on the finishing touches to this incredible comeback by the Black Bulls. They were down by 8 points earlier, 73-65. And then unleashing that 13-0 run.
You're right. But this is not done yet.
Oh, di pa tapos.
Yeah.
Pero yung nagpapaypay sa atin, tapos na yata eh.
Hindi, may dalawang game pa naman daw.
Sa bagay.
Eto.
Mintes, yung una. Would you miss the second free throw?
No,
No.
I would still make it.
Well, he misses. Gabawan will not get it off in time. And an escape act once again by the Quezon City Black Bulls following up that impressive victory they had against Batangas City and roll on to their first straight win, defeating the Bataan Risers.
You know, I gotta give this game not only to Hoson but to Coach JV Olea. The last play, this was not it. He's our best player of the game. Just an outstanding all-around performance. Flirting with a triple-double was MJ Hoson. His last basket, which was this one, the I believe I can fly moment, was a big basket. But Coach JV Olea, that play for Agoncillo, who was, you know, we didn't talk about him. He was not involved the last 5 minutes. It was really Hoson and Pat Buena in this quarter. That was a misdirection play, but the confidence to put the ball in his hands, to make a play, get the go-ahead basket, gotta give it to Coach JV.
And Agoncillo delivered, giving this victory for Quezon City over Bataan 80-79, and they improved their win-loss record to 4-2. Up next, Sarangani, tenacity going up against the Mindoro Tamaraws, kaya huwag kayong alis mga kaliga. Magbabalik pa po ang MPBL Preseason Invitational 2026.